Spring is officially here, and with spring comes new paint colors. I'm Lauren. Welcome to Furniture Flipping Teacher. In this video, we are going to be making over yet another French provincial dresser. This one's kind of a little petite one, and I am so excited. I got it for about $85 with another French provincial that I already flipped a few months back. So check that out after this video. We'll link it up here. I'm excited because, like I said, with spring comes new colors. So you better stick around till the end because I am going to be using a color that I have never used before, and I couldn't be more excited about it. Let's go ahead and get started and remove the hardware. Of course, I am going to be keeping the original hardware. How could you not on a French provincial piece? Now that we've got the hardware removed, it's time for some cleaning. So I left the drawers out just a bit so I can get them. But if you look right here where that old hardware was, you can tell the reason why I decide always on every piece to go ahead and remove the hardware before cleaning so that I can get all that gunk that was under the hardware for who knows how many years off when I clean the whole piece. I am going to be cleaning today with some Dawn dish soap. So a good old classic that I love. It's easy on your hands, but it also gets all that dirt and grease and grime from over the years off of that furniture piece. It's time for some scuff sanding. So a lot of the times furniture has a varnish on the top, which means that it's protected and it's very smooth. So what we need to do is we need to go ahead and roughen up that surface so that the paint can adhere to the surface rather than just slide right off. So to accomplish that, we are going to do what's called scuff sanding. And I like to use 220 grit to scuff sand and roughen up that surface. I am using my Surf Prep sander, and I love using this for French provincials especially because of its curvy nature. I am able to put on a foam abrasive pad, which is going to be able to curve with the drawers and with the curves so that I won't be squishing those and making them flat, but instead this will just go right along that surface with it. I also went ahead and put on my RZ mask, which is going to protect my lungs from any of that dust that may come off of my sander, even though I've got my dust extractor. And for both the Surf Prep sander and the RZ mask, you guys can use code FFT10 for 10% off of your entire purchase on their respective websites, and the description has the link. Okay, so really quick, I want to talk about this top here. I just did a quick scuff sand, and when scuff sanding, really it's just surface level. So you don't want to try and get too deep into the finish because you don't really want to break through the finish. But sometimes you will see things like little tiny gouges and maybe even some scratches. I want to caution you not to take your sander and really dig deep down in there because you're going to cause dents. It might look like it's smooth, but it could be pretty wavy. So instead, what you can do is you can take some wood filler, and if you've got any deeper gouges, it can be from someone setting something on the dresser or something heavy being set down, things like that, or being drug across. They're very minimal, but they will show up when you put your paint on. So if you can see those now, chances are you're going to be able to see them when the paint is on. So it's better to fix it ahead of time or after you prime instead of having to go back when your paint is already on. So I'm gonna go grab some wood filler and get these all filled up. We'll sand that back and then we'll prime. I'm gonna use some Dixie mud to get into those little gouges, and I'm just gonna spread it across all of them. It's okay if you have a little bit of excess, and then you'll just sand it back later after it's dry. I think we've got them all covered, so I'm gonna let that wood filler dry and we'll come back and sand it down. All right, that wood filler is dry, so let's go ahead and sand it smooth. Wiping back all that dust with a microfiber cloth, and then you can just really see that the wood filler did its job and filled in all of those gouges. All right, it's time for primer. I am gonna use the same RZ mask that I used for sanding for spraying the primer. So I'm gonna be using Kiehl's primer, and as you can see right here, it blocks the heavy stains from popping through. So on those areas where I broke through that finish I was talking about earlier, this will help block those tannins from the wood from popping through to my lighter color paint. Not even one can of primer was used right there. So I am willing to pay just a tad bit more for some convenience. I can buy a pint of a little more, I can buy, I think it's 32 ounces for $15 now. Whereas with this one, it's about $8 for the can, and it gets me through an entire piece. So again, convenience sometimes is better even if you have to pay a little bit more. I'm gonna let that dry now, and then we'll show you the paint. We're back, it's the next day, and the primer has dried. So I'm just gonna take a sanding sponge and smooth out the primer. When you're using the spray paint, there tends to be just a tad bit more texture. So I just like to knock that back with a very fine grit sandpaper. Time, and like I said at the very beginning, with spring comes new paint colors, and I'm really excited to try out this color, Peach Blossom by Lily Moon Paint. It is a part of their spring collection, and they just released 6 new colors, with this being one of them. I love orange, but I've never painted with a more muted orange tone. And so I'm super excited, like I keep saying, to try out this beautiful peach color paint. And what better piece to do it on than a French Provincial? I love doing the pastel-y colors on French Provincials. The partner to this one went in Lily by Lily Moon Paint, which is a pastel pink. So its sister is going to go in Peach Blossom. Let's go ahead and paint. Okay, coat 1 of this beautiful Peach Blossom is on there. It is getting great coverage despite how light of a color it is. So we're gonna let this first coat dry and come back for coat number 2. All right, we are back here for coat number 2, and I am going to be sanding down just the first layer of paint that I put on there to smooth out any imperfections or rough spots from that first coat, and that will really help me get a smooth finish. I'm just going to be using a sanding sponge, which is a super, super fine sandpaper. All right, sweet. So second coat is finished up. We are gonna need at least a third coat since this color is so light, but cross your fingers that 3 will be enough. I went ahead and did coat 3 off camera, so now it's dry and it's ready for top coat. I am gonna be using the top coat from Lily Moon Paint as well. It's got a low luster, so there's just gonna be a very slight sheen. I've used it once before and I loved the finish of it. I'm also gonna be utilizing a new to me top coat brush by Zebra. They just released these within the past couple of months and I have been itching to use it. Lily Moon Paint's website, it comes stocked with all Zebra paintbrushes as well. So when you're ordering the paint, top coats, all that good stuff, you can also throw some brushes in on your order as well. Top coat is on. I'm gonna let that dry for a bit here, and then we'll get that hardware attached again. It's time for the hardware. I am actually just gonna be using the original hardware and put it right back on as it is. So sometimes I like to spray paint it gold, or even use gold gilding wax, or I could even decide to paint it a different color, but sometimes I also just like to leave it the original patina and the original color that it is. And I just think that this will look so good against that peach, and also just remind people of where it once came from, just meaning it still has some of that original look to it when I put these pieces of hardware back on. But one thing I will tell you is I absolutely do not personally like to change the hardware on French Provincial pieces. I think that it should 100% always stay French Provincial. It just goes with the style of the dresser and the curviness, and I think that this is one of my favorite parts of the French Provincial pieces. So let's go ahead and get these back on there. Final result. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think of this French Provincial. You guys totally know me. I can never, ever, ever pass up a French Provincial dresser that just needs a little bit of love. I think that going from the dark and drab wood to this beautiful peach blossom color just brightens up this piece of furniture, and I really think that this will look super cute in a little girl's room, or even just for some extra storage anywhere in the house, maybe even as like a bathroom storage. It's more of a petite size, so I'll probably list it around $200, which won't give me too much profit, but I want this to go to a really good home, and I just love the way that it turned out. I want to thank Lily Moon Paint and their company. They are a small business company in Tennessee, and if you haven't tried out their paint, definitely give it a try. And today would be an amazing day because, like I said at the beginning of this video, this color Peach Blossom is a part of their Garden Blooms launch, and so there's 5 other colors that you've got to check out. We'll pop them up here right on the screen so that you guys can see the other amazing colors that are in this specific collection. But if you haven't tried out Lily Moon Paint yet, head over there now because they've got some amazing earthy colors. They've also got Moon Dust, which is a milk paint that I am so ready to try. And the awesome thing is that you can use my code FFT10 for 10% off of your entire order. They also sell Zebra brushes. The new top coat brushes that I just used on this piece are available over there as well. So definitely check that out. And speaking of Lily Moon Paint, since you guys stuck around till the end of this video, I have a special giveaway for you because I truly thank you and appreciate it when you watch my entire videos all the way till the end. It really does help us out, but then also sometimes this is where the true meat of the video is. So we are partnering with Lily Moon Paint, and we are going to do a $100 giveaway to Lily Moon Paint's website. So you'll have access to all of this collection, the Garden Bloom collection, along with all of their other products, top coats, furniture balms, paint, milk paint, etc., etc. So in order to enter that giveaway and enter to win $100, you are going to go ahead and go down below in the comments, and you are going to let me know which of the 6 colors from the spring collection, the Garden Bloom collection that Peach Blossom was from, and you're gonna let me know which of those 6 colors you are most wanting to try. We'll pop them back up here on the screen just one more time, and I'll also list them all down below in the description so that you guys are able to see those names. Let me know what color you want to try, as well as make sure you're subscribed right here, because you gotta come back and see when we announce that giveaway winner, as well as tune in for our next upcoming videos. We've got videos every Thursday. I hope you guys enjoyed this surprise video. We love surprising you guys with content. So I'm so glad that we were able to do so. And thank you guys again so much for watching. I love French Provincial. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you on the flip side.